All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Feels good to be back home. Although this is my least active channel, well, I won't say that. It's not the most active. It feels like home. And I want to deal with, well, you saw the thumbnail. And you see that the title of the live stream is different from the thumbnail. And I seriously believe this. I believe that over the years, the universe itself has been sending messengers to black women in the form of black men. I genuinely believe that. Now, what is a messenger? Now, I'm speaking sort of religious terms here. And even though I'm not a Christian, I don't believe Jesus ever existed, I think it's all a fairy tale. I'm not an atheist. I 100% believe in a God power. I don't know if it's in the form of a human. I don't know what the form is. But there is most definitely a life force out there that has created and maintains life. I think it's irrefutable. There's a life force is behind why we are here and able to discuss our very existence. Messengers from God are considered prophets and angels. It is said that God sends prophets to send a message to the people, or God will send an angel to send a message to the people. So it's like a means by which God channels through and communicates with the living. Communicates with the living through chosen angels or messengers. And I believe there is truth. I don't have to believe in the Bible as the truth to believe in certain things in the Bible. I believe there's a whole lot, an immense amount of truth in the Bible. I just believe it's been mismanaged and tampered with. Okay, and a lot of things have been put in and taken out. And the reason I believe this happens, I believe, there have been messengers and that there are always messengers sent to people, sent to certain demographics. I think it's irrefutable. Different groups have messengers that come among them. Because I view different groups of people as different manifestations of energies. That's essentially how I sum up humanity and life in general. All humans, regardless of race, are a particular type of manifestation of energy or concentration of energy. If you have a group of people like Black Americans who clearly have a unique lineage, there's no other way that Black Americans could produce such unique sound. That would not be possible if they didn't have a unique lineage. That comes from your unique literal blood. You understand? Chinese people are a unique manifestation of a certain configuration of energy. Yes, they are all individuals with individual personalities, but there's a similarity to all of them too, isn't there? Isn't there a similarity to all groups? You can divide them up however you want. Ethnic groups, people in the same nation. Yes, individual characters and personality, but isn't there an overall similarity to them as well. Based on beliefs, similar tastes. Oh, yes. And that's what makes up their culture. Even have a unique type of energy to them. Swag, style. Those are different manifestations of energies in the universe. It's just the universe producing a particular type of energy, configuration, manifestation. Why it's being done, I don't know. I'm just looking at the end product. But I don't believe the universe will produce an energy configuration / group of people. A unique manifestation of life. That's what different groups of people are. Groups of people like Black Americans. Because we give, and only we can provide a certain type of sound for the world. And it's not just about music. It's also those people tend to have certain perspectives, ways of seeing things. They tend to produce certain types of mentalities, speakers, influencers. Just pay attention to people. And I don't believe the universe would produce a unique manifestation of human beings, which is basically a collection of blood, essentially, just a collection of a unique type of blood, for no reason, if it wasn't meant to exist. So if for some reason that manifestation of energy / Black Americans is their survival is threatened, I believe the universe works in ways to preserve that existence, the existence of that manifestation of energy. And this is just something that naturally happens. So, what's going on with Black women? I want y'all to take a good look at this article. And I want Black women to know something else. This is not a black female bashing channel or videos. Not this channel or any of the channels that I've ever created. Okay, I need y'all to understand that. And I think most of you do, and that's good. But this is, it's not a game. I know y'all don't take us seriously. You look down on us. You don't think much of our intelligence. You don't take heed to the things that we say. You don't admire us for our intelligence. And that is the problem. That is a huge reason why Black Americans are on the path to extinction. Because you don't look at Black men with admiration. You don't look at Black men as God in the flesh. You don't respect them the way you should. You look down on them. We know this for a fact because they do this with themselves. They have truly accepted that they are less, and it's real bad. It's worse than most Black men are aware of. And I'm going to give you another example in this video. To me, this is sad stuff. Y'all need to snap out of it. This article surfaced late last year. Black women face disproportionate risks from largely unregulated toxic substances in beauty and personal hair care products. Say the FDA's finally proposed a ban on formaldehyde in hair straighteners, and new regulations on the cosmetics industry take effect next month. One activist called them a floor, not a ceiling. Okay. late November of last year. This is a recent article, people. And I'm going to take my time going over this, and I'm not going to put it all in one video. I'm going to break this up into sections because it's such a long article. First, in a series of, okay, look. In this popular hair straightener, there is a chemical called formaldehyde in it. And it is toxic, cause several cancers. It's extremely toxic. And all the side effects like cancers, black women lead in all of them. All of the cancerous side effects. You look up the cancers, you look at who leads in those different types of cancers and afflictions. Here's an example: nervous system disorders, respiratory problems, nausea, chest pains, rashes, and it's a lot worse than that. Has real fatal side effects. Okay, this lady who's talking here said, I started out with plaits and afros when I was in high school. She's now 66 years old. Okay, she was born in 1957. She's talking about high school. So let's say she born in 1957, so 1967, 1977, so around 1975, she was getting ready to graduate. 1970, that's the mid-70s. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, follow this story. She's now 66. She had plaits and afros in high school, according to her, around 1975. She said at the time they were trying to be natural, be black power, all of that. When I was getting ready to graduate, though, I started relaxing my hair, worried that her natural styles would not be taken seriously as she pursued an acting career. And let me say, that is no real excuse, because the men took the same chance. We just didn't care. We were conking our hair to be accepted as well and stopped. You didn't hear us talking that. Oh, they're not going to take me seriously. I'm going to look too much like a Negro, so I won't be able to get this job. So we could have easily done that and said the same thing. Like, hey, so I don't buy this. I don't buy this. I believe this was a decision by the women themselves. I really don't. There's always been pressure from white companies for us to have our hair a certain way. The 70s movement was about we don't care. That's what it was about. And you got to adhere to it, or else it meant nothing. It was a big waste of time. But okay. She said, oh, it's not going to help my career. It's going to hold me back. Being natural, which I don't believe. White people was digging our natural look. I'm not buying this nonsense that they talking. Yes, there were some white people in some settings who were uncomfortable. Who cares? There's always going to be a portion of somebody's population who like and dislike something. Who cares? I don't want to hear that. Just all white people are against our natural look. Stop it. Those types of pathetic excuses got to stop. She began using chemical straighteners, many of which relied on formaldehyde, a known carcinogen, known to straighten hair. Now, she was diagnosed with stage 4 endometrial cancer. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not sure if I am. Diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, which she believes can be directly traced to her use of hair straighteners. And this is a direct quote. She said, "We were doing these perm relaxers with no idea that we were giving ourselves cancer all these many years." Black men, I need y'all to understand something. There's a whole slew of things like this that black women over the decades have exposed themselves to and lead in contract. They have so many health issues. You have no idea. It's worse than most black men are aware of. Put it like that. She said, referring to herself and the untold numbers of other black women who have used chemical treatments since their creation in 1905. Now, right here, she's talking about Madam C.J. Walker and the creation of the portable hair straightener, which is basically a hot comb with this electrical device that you could plug in, turn on, and heat the hot comb. Right? We all know what those are. Remember those? I was born in 1977, and I remember hot combs being used in my home, right? And if you know anything about hot combs, they used to burn their scalps. They used to get burned all, not just their scalps. You get burnt everywhere on your body. It's just a hot comb. And of course, they would want to get as close as possible to the root. So sometimes they would burn, right? What? Burn their flipping scalp just directly with a hot object. Psst. Right? Self-harm, self-mutilation, which is what I view the whole hair straightening process is. No matter if you're straightening it with chemicals or whether you're using hair weave and extensions and wigs. I view all of it as self-harm because it is. A self-harm that black men don't go through, that black women wouldn't go through had they followed what their men were telling them to follow, the example the black men were setting. Now let's continue with this. So she was diagnosed with cancer. Said they had no idea they was giving themselves cancer all these years. She said, "I'm never doing it again." Last month, the Food and Drug Administration proposed a ban on the use of formaldehyde and other formaldehyde-releasing chemicals as an ingredient in hair straightening or smoothing products, citing the chemicals' links to cancer and a range of other adverse health effects, including nervous system disorders, respiratory problems, skin conditions. Again, do your own searches on these issues. Studies have shown that when hair straightening products contain formaldehyde, which are often marketed towards black women, are used with heat, the risk of certain cancers, including upper respiratory tract cancers and myeloid leukemias, increase. Oh my goodness. Again, stuff you ain't never heard about. Black women regularly have been having and leading because of the nonsense they put in their hair trying to attain the white look, the non-black girl look, trying to look like these other women, literally been killing them, keeping them in poor health, sending them to early graves, all because they haven't been following the example of their men. We ain't dealing with this stuff. Even breast cancer, uterine cancer, they've been developing and leading in because of this garbage putting on their hair, trying to look like Becky. There's a lot of problems that go along with this whole adoption of a beauty standard opposite your DNA. Okay. She hopes the proposed ban will help set a standard for promoting safer alternatives, ensuring that everyone is protected from potentially harmful exposure. It's really an individual decision for people about how they want to present. No, it's not. No, it's not an individual decision. It's a group decision. The vast majority of them go for the white beauty standard. That ain't no individual thing. Why? Because they reinforce it. They reinforce it with each other. They compliment each other, tell each other, "Oh, you look nice. Oh, you look pretty." That ain't no individual thing. That's a shared collective thing. They do these tutorials. They promoting this standard that they harm themselves to go through, that does not enhance their beauty. Let me say that for the record. Having straight hair identical to other races of women does not increase your beauty at all. At all. And I can say that with confidence. I can say that with confidence. Thank you, internet era. Now let's continue. This is a horrible article here. Black Americans make up 14% of the population. Now, I don't believe that, but spend 9 times more on ethnic hair and beauty products than non-black women. So basically, the hair beauty industry depends on them. What's important to me, this is a quote, and my role is to make sure that everyone is able to do that in a way that is healthy. She's talking about achieving a white beauty standard or a white look. Again, no. You don't try to help them achieve it at all, because there's no healthy way to achieve it. How long have they been straightening their hair? Let's say since 1905. Do the math on that. How long is that? You telling me they still ain't figured out a way to straighten their hair in a safe way? I'm telling you, that means there ain't none. Your texture of hair is natural. When you buck what's natural, it'll eventually backfire. Come on, man. So yeah, don't say things like that, please. Don't say things like that. One study last fall underscored the devastating effects of these exposures. The National Institutes of Health found that there was an increased risk of uterine cancer. What did I tell you? Look up the I'm not reading here. Look up the demographic who leads in uterine cancer. Let's do it now. Black women are more likely to be diagnosed with uterine cancer and die from it than other racial and ethnic groups. They're also more likely to have aggressive forms of the disease. For example, the risk of dying from endometrial, that same word, type of uterine cancer is 1 in 100 for black women compared to 1 in 170 for white women. Again, a lot of these different type of afflictions, cancers, black women lead in, and it's all traced back to their decision to adhere to the white beauty standard rather than their own. So the quest to have the non-black look is physically harmful. It's physically harmful. It's irrefutable. Among women who use formaldehyde-based hair straightening products at least 4 times a year, the study said the rates of uterine cancer among black women have been increasing in the United States. And that's because black women use hair straighteners more frequently. They are more affected. Another study by the same team found there was an increased risk of breast cancer in connection with the use of hair straighteners. Why is the use of something on your head affecting your breast? Huh? Make sense out of that. Black women in the United States are more likely than white women to develop breast cancer at a younger age, die from the disease, and develop an aggressive subtype called triple negative. Are y'all still being experimenting on black women? It almost sounds like y'all are targeted medically on a medical level. Where is that movement to abandon all these chemicals? Like this stuff literally sending y'all to the grave. This is crazy. And this, I'm not even dealing with weave and wigs. That stuff is harmful too. Breast cancer? Okay. Long-standing research policy advocates, and they're far from the first warnings about the potential hazards. In 1986, how long have this information been out? Environmental Protection Agency found that the substance was a probable human carcinogen. And the International Agency for Cancer Research, a division of the World Health Organization, released a simple. Oh my God! So everybody been talking about it for a long time. They also talked about things, other products that contain formaldehyde, because it's not just in chemical hair straighteners. And they're just talking about overseeing the cosmetics industry. No, you need to stop trusting crazy stuff. Wash your hair, put Vaseline in it, comb it, brush it, and leave yourself alone. Style it however you want. Use safe products only. And the only way to be safe is to be 100% natural. The healthiest way for y'all to exist is as a 100% natural black female. And who knows in what other ways this affects them. This could actually affect their brains. And actually, have influence on their character, on their personality. You putting something right on your flipping scalp, don't know what it is, and they're putting a list of stuff in the stuff you got in there. They got chemicals you can't even pronounce. You have no idea what it is or what it does to you. Okay, now I'm going to skip some of this. Professor has been documenting how racialized beauty norms compel women of color to disproportionately use cosmetics. Racialized beauty norms compel women of color to disproportionately use cosmetics. No. See, here we go with the excuses that I don't buy. Basically saying the promotion of other races of women. Oh, it's because so many white women are being shown on the movies and stuff like that. They don't promote us black men like that either. We're not the standard of handsomeness. It's white males. It's white males. Now, black men may be more desired in the bedroom, but not as husbands. We're just not. Regardless of whether or not we make the best husbands, statistically. If you Ask women of all races, you line it, most of them will say, hey, I'd want a handsome white husband or I'd want a handsome black husband. That's just how it is. But black men did not care. We said, look, we're just going to stop trying to look like them, period. We don't care how accepting it looks, how much we look like Elvis. We don't care. We just don't care no more. The mentally healthy thing to do is for us to be ourselves. And that's the case for anybody. Be yourself. Do the same thing other races of people do. Wash and groom your natural hair. Don't augment it. Just wash and groom it. Okay? Now they're starting to talk and say that they're like being targeted. Chain of events that led the FDA to begin the process to impose formaldehyde ban is a story of outdated 85-year-old guidelines that have largely hamstrung federal agencies when they tried to do a search. I want y'all to do a search yourselves on formaldehyde-free products. Let's do it now. Specifically, because I just saw an ad about it right there. Look at this. Trying out a formaldehyde-free keratin treatment. This keratin treatment, this December 8th, 2023, y'all just now trying out a formaldehyde-free treatment, looking into formaldehyde-free products. What does that tell you? They've been using this stuff the whole time. The whole time. Formaldehyde. Now this keratin, do a search on that too. That keratin treatment. It's a Brazilian blowout. It's just a thing that makes their hair straight. It's just a hair straightening thing. And it releases formaldehyde. And they're leading in a whole bunch of crazy stuff. On top of the weight, it's not even dealing with the weight. And the weight is astronomical. Epidemic. That is a national emergency all by itself. The weight alone. 85-year-old guidelines. This is so detrimental. And the thing is, I believe most of them have been aware of this and they simply don't care. They don't care. We can at least admit to that and agree to that. They don't care. But was it done on purpose? If a group wanted to take us out or take you out, black females, wouldn't it be easy? So many things that only y'all exclusively use. But if y'all had control over everything that you put in your hair, which is what you should, which is what black men put you on a path to do. The 70s was supposed to be the creation of different empires and mega institutions, multi-billion-dollar industries, because we were creating brand new tastes and desires. Our taste and desires was coming from us. That's the basic of any independently economically independent group. Is to create your own tastes and desires. Shout out to all the students of Dr. Amos Wilson, who used to stress this. Also did Chancellor Williams used to stress this. Shout out to the whole school of that era who helped produce us. This is crazy. Y'all are supposed to, and imagine how much healthier they would have been if they built on what black men started for them. Built on what black men started for them. Imagine where it would be now, how much healthier they'd be now, how many of them would not have contracted cancers. We don't know how many of them were sent to the grave because of this type of stuff. Those numbers haven't even been tallied. Or have they? They do know, they at least know that they lead in these things. There's a lot that needs to be uncovered. So if you look at it, black men have been like saviors for black women. The universe's natural way of it's in survival mode. That's all it is. Universe going in survival mode. You're a unique people with a specific type of DNA. Stop hiding how you really look. It's mentally unhealthy. Stop doing it, because we were all doing it, both the males and females, up until the 70s. Universe trying to correct itself. Okay, you're a unique type of energy that was produced as irrefutable, and now you're doing something that's going to cause you to go extinct. That's very unhealthy. To try to look like something you're not, be something you're not. It's very unhealthy, flat out. Okay? And that's all black men represent. A natural way trying to self-correct to preserve your existence, the existence of a particular bloodline. Black Americans don't understand this. A lot of men understand this. Black Americans have a unique bloodline. They have one of the few people who still have a unique bloodline. Most groups don't have a real unique bloodline. White Americans, for example, most of them have a huge combination of various European countries and ethnic groups. It's a variety. And many of them just don't know, and who knows? But it's not a real specific. But the people who are over here in the Americas were a specific lineage, a bloodline of people. That to me is obvious. When you look at how universal our taste is, we're on the same vibe. We have the same vibration configuration, Black Americans. Our music, we connect with it no matter where you are in the United States. We got the same style of music, same taste of music. And music tell you the type of people you're dealing with. Music is extremely important. People need to stop minimizing that. That's your expression of your spirit. Understand that. And you can't express yourself on a spiritual level in many ways. There's not many ways you can do it. That's why song and dance has historically been used in like magic rituals and stuff like that. It's a way you tap into the spirit realm. It's a superpower. So how you express yourself musically, even if it's just by singing, reveals, really what lineage you're from. So we're one of the few people, I think, and this is just my opinion, who have distinct bloodline, and a lot of them don't appreciate it, not even aware of it. And you just think you some type of genetically defective, dysfunctional, low class, low level group of people. And I'm primarily, sadly, talking about, our women here. The so-called black pride is very low, and it shouldn't be looked at as that. It should be looked at as just not doing this. Stop looking at going natural. Oh, it's a journey of black pride. No, it's just a journey of being normal. Yeah, Lord. Okay. They're talking about the lobbyists in the beauty industry, and all this kind of stuff. I don't really buy into that. As a black woman in science, the issue hits close to home. She says, whatever. I wear my hair naturally. And actually, I've certainly experienced having people just touch my hair and ask questions about it. I've experienced early on in my career someone saying, if I want to be promoted, then I had to, straighten my hair. So I understand those pressures we have. I'm very supportive. Listen, in today's world, that is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Don't we have the Crown Act? Don't we got laws against this? That's just a fight that needs to be had. That should have been had in the 70s. That was had and really was won. Black women's natural look was accepted back in the 70s. Flat out, if you ask me. It was accepted. They could have took that momentum straight up into the job, into the corporate world. And any pushback they get, fight it on a case-by-case basis. And what is there to worry about? You got a whole nation of people who would support you if something were to happen. And especially that would be hard to do today. No, that don't work today. Don't work today. See, they starting to talk about how, it's because of the pressure on black women to look like other women. There is. Look, there is. If you want to be on the Miss America stage, sometimes you have to, I don't even think you have to. There's been natural black women who've won those beauty pageants, haven't there? Oh, I'm looking it up now. Oh, yes. You better believe it. And I could have swore I've seen at least one, Miss Universe. Huh? That don't look like no perm to me. Can we get a close up? Can we get a close? Oh, y'all can't even see this. Let me share my screen. Ain't no excuses today. The natural look is accepted. Period. Even if I know some people will say, no, this is just a sort of fetish sideshow thing. Who cares? Fetish, sideshow it right into the masses, right up into the job. They know what you look like in any natural hairstyle you can think of. Everybody know what you look like. You ain't about to surprise nobody. No, and not a white person in the world you gonna surprise. And the whole point is, as long as you clean and well cut, well shaven, you will be accepted. I don't want to hear that nonsense. And one of the things they've been doing over time is when they would have a natural black woman who's not that well groomed. It's almost as if they refuse to allow a black woman with a natural hairstyle to have a sharp hairline and fade, right? Always got to be jagged, frizzy, just not well groomed in order to say to the world, hey, natural on black women, hey, it's a sideshow fetish, but it's not beautiful. It's not hot. And look, we all know it's nonsense. Again, Google has changed all of that. You can just look them up yourself. I've shown them 1,000 times. Black women, short, natural. And if people not familiar with how your hair look naturally, they just have to get familiar with, and they are familiar because the black men wear these hairstyles. Black men wear these hairstyles. Yes, I don't want to hear it. There ain't no excuses. And there definitely ain't no reason to still, in 2024, be putting stuff like this in your hair. Now, here's the thing. There ain't no way on this green earth, no black wife of mine is going to be doing stuff like this to my daughter's hair. Ain't happening. It ain't happening. Now, y'all remember that that thing that they mentioned, that keratin treatment. I want y'all to do some research on that. Look up the videos. We're about to do it now. Keratin, it's like naturally found in your hair. But they have this process of it. It's real complicated. And the thing is, this is important because most black men don't get into what black women do with their hair, because it's all like a science. Y'all going through these crazy processes. It's just like putting themselves in a science lab, getting in this machine, get in that machine, use this chemical, this fluid, get some spaced out looking bottle and container, right? Walking into the bathroom of a black woman is like walking into another world on the planet itself. Now, I did a search. You see what I put in here? Keratin treatment. This is that treatment that's dangerous with the formaldehyde. Who is the face of this treatment? White people get it too, but you clearly see who the face of this is, because it's a hair straightening process. And from what I understand, I guess it make your hair shiny or whatever too. It kind of makes the hair exactly like white, Indian, and Asian people's hair, non-black people's hair. Like when black women straighten their hair, like with that in a normal way or in a typical way, it's not flowing. It don't blow in the wind. This type of treatment makes it that way. Let me see if there's a short video on it. There's a bunch of videos, but I generally don't like them. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. And it's like, what the point? What's the point? Why put some harmful chemicals in a head full of hair like this? And this process is for natural hair. Why introduce anything harmful with a healthy scalp, a healthy head full of hair like this? Why would you do that? You better just groom it. Put something that you know is safe in it. No, they want to go through the process for this. This is the keratin treatment. So this is the end goal. Really? You're going to go through this deadly process. Years of who knows how much breast cancer development. And here they telling y'all leading and all this crazy stuff. Where's the care for your own health is the thing. That's the argument with the obesity. This truly is crazy. And if it's not trying to attain other people's hair DNA, see, the keratin treatment makes it silky and shiny, and it makes it swing through the air. It makes it more identical. It makes their natural hair more identical to other races. And I know the information shared so far is deeper than a lot of black males were aware. Because we generally, at least me, I don't get into what they do in their hair. I'm telling you, they go in that bathroom, it's like they doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what they're doing. We don't get into it, or at least not heterosexual black men. We don't get into what they be doing in their salons or in their science lab. But I'm telling you now what's going on. Why, and again, why destroy a perfectly, they do this to a natural head of hair is worse than what I've shown so far, man. This is absolute madness. This attacks the black girls with naturally long hair. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Rather than just take good care of the natural hair and wear natural hairstyles, no, introduce a bunch of deadly chemicals, cancer-causing chemicals. What are you doing? You'd have to be out of your mind. There's no way. I'm not letting nobody do this to my daughter. Now, how likely do you think it is to find a black wife who's not into all this? And that's just one, required criteria. So I've 100% accepted I will never get married. So, I'm not torn apart about it. I've accepted it a long time ago. It's just rare. And then we get into religion and other things. It's just, and this is the case for a lot of black men. But this is horrible. When you have 100% no reason at all, isn't it a dream to have a lot of hair? Can never just take care of the natural hair. Make the natural hair look fly and keep it moving. Just have to introduce some harmful process. For what? For what? Just to look exactly identical to other women of the world. That is how this is harmful. Here's another one. Keratin treatment. It's to make it look like this. Lord, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something. Things are changing fast. Black male awareness. Black men really got black women under a microscope, as any group of men would and should if their women are harming themselves. Some of these black men, they come off like they might come off like they hate you or something, but they wouldn't be talking about you if they didn't want you to snap out of it. That's basically what it boiled down to. This ain't no hate movement. We're not hateful. Black men are not hateful, especially when it comes to black females. Y'all not going to tell me. You're not going to tell me I'm hateful or nothing like that. Or black men, period. Wouldn't be telling you if we didn't want you to snap out of it. It's just difficult to watch. This whole culture is difficult to watch. Y'all going through, and it's called a Brazilian blowout. Right? Who's the face of Brazilian blowouts? Oh, I never would have guessed. Who's the face of Brazilian blowouts? The home of the keratin treatment, which is the formaldehyde process. Oh, look at the straight L. It look just like Becky's hair. Oh my God. You got these black girls with naturally very long hair. Oh my goodness. My goodness, say it ain't so. It is not that. And why is it so important to attain that look? Okay, even if you did it through a safe process that wasn't harmful to your body wasn't cancer causing. It sounds like the equivalent of eating red meat, uncooked, right? A process that causes a variety of different cancers. That's definitely something that has no business on your body or inside your body. But even if you could do it through a safe process, that is emotionally, psychologically harmful thing to do, to suppress what you are, your natural self, to go through life hiding from the world, presenting yourself to the world in a way that's a lie. This is just dealing with psychology of human beings. That is harmful. And you're going to have a whole host of personality disorders and relate to people, socially interact with people in extremely dysfunctional ways. You may even have emotional outbursts, fits of rage, and extremely hateful outbursts. You may say extremely evil and hateful things. Okay? These are all red flags, things that aren't quite right mentally. So I personally believe, now understand, it's these types of narratives, the things that I've been talking about. These are the things that black men have been talking about once we got the chance to have a voice that could spread throughout the population. We've been talking about things like this. We haven't been spreading lies, saying that, black women are this and that. Y'all single because we ran from the family and deadbeats, locked up. We leave the women as soon as we find out that they're pregnant, and gangsters, just these degenerates. Sad stuff, man. I mean, wouldn't a hot comb? You may as well go back to a hot comb. It sounded like that was safer than this. And this information been out since the 80s. I mean, you have got to be. Wait a minute. Listen. Let me see. Do this one if you get a chance. It's a chemical, a known carcinogen, often used in products marketed to black women, such as straighteners, perms, and relaxers. When used with heat, formaldehyde can increase the risk of developing certain cancers, upper respiratory tract cancers. How many of y'all know black women who complain about their respiratory system, their breathing? Leukemias. I don't even know what these other issues are. What is this? And why is something you putting on your head affecting your ovaries? I would be scared to have anything going into my body affecting anything, any of these things. My respiratory system? No. That's scary. You could start running for 10 seconds and drop dead. You don't know what this stuff doing to your body. And why is something you putting on your head affecting your breast? Formaldehyde is highly toxic. So now this is just one. The other option is the weaves. And we already know. I don't have to show those images of how that stuff destroy your flipping scalp. Those are hard to look at. Wait a minute. Scalp weave damage. Man, a big reason why they go bald so early. Oh my goodness. Some of this stuff is hard to look at. And this is a problem because when they start this at a very young age, they go bald early, and then they depend on the wigs and weaves even more. Okay, as soon as they start losing their edges and whatnot. Here's a good example of one right here. All of this has an effect on your desirability. If you're going through life wearing wigs and weaves, that has an impact on your desirability. Because it's not only black men who don't like that. It's a lot of men, groups of men. They're all over the internet talking about it. So as soon as they suffer this minor damage, they feel like, oh, now I got to wear the weave now. And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then what usually happens, they usually start gaining weight. By the time they're 30, early 30s, the black men have been, again, like saviors. They're just out here going over this with you, telling you, look, you got to take better care of yourself. You got to evolve. You got to be more accepting of yourself. You're not being as accepting of yourself as black men are of themselves. It's having literally an effect on your health. Mature-minded men don't want to build a family with women like that, regardless of your race. This ain't even a race thing. This is not a race. If a different group of women was doing this, we'd avoid them too. Dead up? You don't think so? This ain't got nothing to do with y'all being black. Keep a lifelong access to your scalp. I don't care if there's no way that you spend more time taking care of your natural hair than you do with this. Y'all be going through processes to get the straight hair. That stuff seem like hours. Be up in there for that. Don't. That's one of the most popular excuses that I've heard as to why they don't deal with natural hair. And again, black men have been natural. They don't be in the bathroom. They don't be sitting up there all that time. We don't be complaining about how long it takes to deal with natural hair, and we be clean. We be clean. I don't want to hear nothing. We got the type of texture hair where you need to have clippers most of the time. Clippers need to be responsible for the majority of what's going on with your hair, like your hairline and stuff like that. Because y'all want to look like other women, y'all go through these dangerous processes. And look at how young some of them are when they start going bald. Men don't want no young woman to wear wigs. And these extensions is basically the same thing as a wig. It's really just a wig that's attached to your head. A wig that's sewn into your flipping head, on top of your head. That's what them extensions are. Y'all make your little web and you tie the weave in. That's all that is. It don't matter what you think about it. The men don't like it, so stop doing it. Just to stop doing it. and I'm seriously, the women who have a pretty face, y'all ain't got no excuse. Y'all can't sit there and say that you don't look attractive with natural hairstyles. No, you got a pretty face. You'll look attractive no matter what hairstyle you wear. It just so happens you look more attractive with natural hairstyles. Just like black men. We looked like fools back in the day when we was conking our hair. Just straight up buffoons. Out there trying to look like a black Elvis. Come on, man. Y'all age slower than other groups of women. I see this all the time. Saddest thing you want to see. A black woman in her, say, 30 years old. I see them everywhere. Already obese. Her face is just fine. You can see that they're attractive, but they are going to be single because they're obese, they're overweight. Like, where is this coming from? And on top of that, it's a part of this weave culture, wig culture. My point is, none of this would have happened had they simply done what we told them. Somebody shared in the chat room a quote from the Bible about how the husband or the man is the Christ, the head of Christ, or whatever. Yeah, I'll co-sign with that part of the Bible too. It's not a problem. Men are wired different. And they are the natural leaders. That's just how it is. The women are supposed to follow the lead of the men for a reason. This is what happens when you don't. Can you imagine? We have no idea what that stuff is doing to them. It could be causing them to release gases, all types of chemical stuff that could probably be coming out their pores that could affect us. It probably could make them more aggressive, make them feel moody, put them in a bad mood, make it some of them do. Some of it make it possible for them to gain weight. Some of the chemicals that they put in their hair, because it raises their estrogen. Some of the products they use in their hair increases their estrogen. That will cause you to go up in weight. If they would have simply did what we told them, be natural, they'd be more healthy today, would look better today, be in better shape, and would probably, this is just what it is, would probably be mentally healthier, have a better personality, on average, a better collective personality. This is crazy. And these are facts. These chemicals having a serious effect on your mind. On your mind. You are a whole different type of black person when these crazy chemicals is passing through your body when you're being medicated on this stuff. Because it stays on your head for the most part at all times. That's no different from ingesting something every day, all day. You're medicating yourself on it. It's going to have some type of effect in your body, whatever it is. And y'all putting all that stuff, y'all better get some petroleum jelly. You better get some simple, natural moisturizer. Massage your scalps like we told you in the 70s and be 100% natural. It's a crazy, crazy, sad story of the Black Americans. Black American women would have flourished in so many different ways had they listened and followed black men's lead. They'd be healthier, slimmer, married, That's truly a crazy part of the story, of our story in this country. It's crazy. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the future. How is this going to end? Are they ever going to snap out of it? Is this weave culture going to continue to get worse? Look at how much of a loss of income it is. And you're talking about the poorest demographic. A demographic who averages what? Some 36. In many states, the average income for Black American women is less than $30,000. Oh, yes. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. And to be pumping out, I look up how much money, we're going to look it up today. The amount of money in the United States alone generated from extensions. It's crazy. It's like millions of dollars spent on it every single day in the United States. Millions. 34,000 is the average income for Black American women in Texas. Well, I'm sorry. What in the world? Black women in Texas average almost 27,000 less than white men. Okay, but they average 34,000. 34, that's not that much. That's not a group of people who need to be spending thousands of dollars on hair, hundreds of dollars a bundle. Even if I don't care if you're paying $50, you ain't supposed to be paying for hair. Hair is something everybody else get for free. Everybody else get it for free. And I plan on getting it for free my whole life. And if I don't get it for free, I ain't never paying for it. Paying for no hair. What about Ohio? Let's look up Ohio. 36,000 is the average income for Black women. And no stuff is 30,000. Wait a minute. Oh boy, this is much better. Let me share this with y'all. This is much better. Alabama, 28,000. The average income for Black women. This is abject poverty, man. It really is. Arkansas, 28,000. Really? I hope this is the ratio to white men. This can't be real. No, I don't think it is. I think this is their average income. Let me see this. No, this is the average income of Black American women. And they really got it for all women of all races. White women in Alabama, 35,000. Black women, 28,000. Arizona, white women, 40,000. Black women, 35,000. Yeah, this is their average income. This is crazy. So we're looking at income ranges of 28, 43, 36, 39, 37, 48 in Columbia, District of Columbia, and I think California, 43,000. That's still low in California. That's low for California. 36, Colorado. 39, 37, Delaware. Listen, look at these numbers. Average income for black women on a state-by-state basis. Michigan, 34. This demographic shelling out millions of dollars every day for hair. This desire for a foreign beauty standard is actually connected to poverty. living in the projects, being homeless. It's connected to homelessness. For any demographic to be, and this is just hair. Imagine how much more they spend on like these chemical processes and stuff like that. Stuff that you shouldn't be spending money on. It's just crazy. 34,000, 30,000. What is going on here? I will go on a limb and say that the average black man here in Ohio makes over $50,000 a year with their overtime. 50,000. I'll take. They at least make 45,000. I don't care what the average is talking about. Because black men work. Every black man I ever known works overtime. I've been working in the automotive industry my whole life. I've worked at little different places here and there, but for the most part, it's been the automotive industry. And everywhere I've worked, we've worked overtime. Everywhere. And most black women were known for flooding these jobs where they were stuck in 40 hours. There are just not that many of them who work overtime, and there's not that many of them who want to work overtime. Most of them don't even want to work 40 hours. Let's keep it real. From my experience, at least in the automotive industry, 40 hours breaks a lot of them, a high percentage of them. Manual labor, or even if it's not that manual, even if it's just driving forklifts, sitting down all day. I've seen my experience. It was over 20 years in the automotive, almost 30 years now in the automotive industry. It breaks a lot of them. They end up quitting, can hardly work 40 hours on a consistent basis. Definitely cannot work 40 hours for a full month. No way. Not on your life. We got a thing at our job where they'll give you $100 bonus if you go 4 weeks without calling off. So you can get an extra $100 each month if you just don't call off. And listen, it is what it is. There's a reason for the homelessness. No matter how you slice it, demographic that makes, on average, this type of income has no business shelling out millions every day for hair. Now, if you do, there's like 1,500 stores in the United States, from what I understand. It's about 1,500 stores in the United States that sell hair. You mean tell me 1,500 stores making millions every day? Nobody else buying hair like that. And another thing with the idea that other races of women wear it too. Of course, we know that they're getting their own grade of hair, but it's not a permanent thing with them. Another point is that it's not a permanent thing with them where every time they walk out for their whole life, they got to have this stuff on their head. It's not like that. They might go to, prom or something and throw in an extension. They want a different look. But again, it's their own grade of hair. And it's not damaging them like that. I mean, who wants this done to their daughter? And who would want to merge incomes with someone financially irresponsible like that? Already, most likely, the man is going to be making more money, and you spending $1,000, definitely hundreds, every few months for hair. Something you're supposed to be getting. Everybody else get for free. I mean, everybody get for free. just on the principle of it, there should be a movement among black women to stop doing that. Stop doing that. Especially when you see that a lot of them, not all of them, especially when you see that a lot of them really don't like you. A lot of them don't like you. A lot of them hate when you're around. Like, I just don't get it. Where's the motivation? Just no motivation for nothing. Black men have been pointing stuff like this out. They've been trying to save black women. It's a survival mode that that's natural, if you ask me. You're looking at, well, we've got no choice. We had no choice but to look at our counterpart. And they're connecting the dots. We're connecting the dots. And had y'all listened to us from the start, there's no telling how much better off we'd be today. Think in how many ways. There'd be fewer cancers, okay. No telling how many of y'all would have avoided an early grave, cancer at all. You would not be obese at the rate at some 80%, or overweight and obese at the rate. That would not be. There's no way. You got the evidence. You got the proof. When black fathers were in the home, for whatever reason, we were not obese like that. We wasn't obese like that. We're going to introduce some degree of discipline into the home. Nobody whose average income is like this should be shelling out money for nothing crazy that you can get for free. Truly don't understand that. So black men, really, if you ask me, they've been like messengers from God. And black women, y'all should look at black men like that. Because there's no other demographic that's going to be on your side. That's going to tell you anything to better you. Anything to do you some good. Because that would mean loss of money for them. They want you to believe that you need all this stuff. Because they're the only ones providing it. Nobody going to tell you you better. And listen, it don't matter what nobody say. Even black men. Y'all should do that regardless of even what black men say. That, of course, it was black men's idea. And let's understand that too. Because look at what's happening. This article was written basically as a way of her sharing the importance of going natural, of not doing all this stuff. So in essence, what are you doing? You're talking about going right back to where black men started you off at. Is that true or not? Y'all having these modern scientific discussions and breakdowns, talking about how important it is to go right back to this. Talking about being diagnosed with cancers and all this type of stuff. Putting it in some modern scientific way. And they're probably give this lady credit for discovering, you discovered how important it is for us to be natural. You go, sister. Y'all like to give yourselves credit and scratch us out the picture. I talked about that several times. And act like it was y'all's idea. No. Another thing I want to stress right now. The first group of people to say, you know what? That's not healthy. You're healthiest natural. The first people to do that was black men. When black women wanted to address black women en masse, you had Madam C.J. Walker bringing you an electric heater and a hot comb, telling you, girl, get them naps out. Start mutilating, self-harming yourself. Walking around with burnt scalps and burn patches here and there. And, your hair was getting destroyed also. And that's the whole point of the hair straightening, is to destroy the hair follicles and all this kind of stuff. What I've learned in life, whenever you try to go reverse nature, because that's basically what this is a culture of. It's a culture of trying to reverse nature, where, black girls exist as if they're just dark versions of all other races of women. It's just not how the universe intended you to exist. And the more effective of a process you have at reversing that, the more problems you're going to deal with. Anytime you try to go against the natural order of things, it backfires. It backfires. So yeah, go ahead and have your discussions, your high level discussions, but remember who first tried to put you on the path to physical and mental health. It was your black Jesuses. Black men have literally been like prophets, sending messages that this saves your life. That if you follow, you'll be as healthy and financially prosperous as possible. Y'all should be making your own hair conditioners, actually creating the chemicals that you put on your scalp. And y'all should own your own beauty and hair care industry. The fact that you don't is directly connected to your desire to look like other women. Massive turnoff for a lot of black men. Good luck in snapping out of that. Because if black Americans are going to survive, the females have to snap out of that. No highly educated, mature, dignified black man, father, is going to want a woman of any race, creed, or color like that. It's a crazy story too. It's an amazing story of black women. No other group of women are going through anything like this. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That has never happened during a live stream. I think I swallowed a bug. I hope that wasn't a bug. It flew in my mouth. Something was in my mouth. But they're struggling with the fact that they look different from all the other women of the world. That's interesting to me. They're suffering. Their health is suffering. All because they look different. All because they look different. And they're struggling. In fact, they look different from all the other women, naturally. I mean, forget about the fact that black females are like the natural group. the natural females. According to science, they came with, the planet. They're considered to be the natural people of the earth, the first people of the earth who populated the earth. So your biological makeup is not abnormal, regardless of what you think about it. Nothing abnormal about it. In fact, like I pointed out several times, the texture of your hair is actually functionally beneficial for you because your hair stands up out of your way. Rather than, hanging down and possibly getting caught on or something. That would just make life a little more difficult for you. Or hanging in your face, especially when you need to run somewhere, run away from something. Run smack dead into something. Okay, in a lot of cases, you don't have anything for another woman to grab onto if you get in a fight. There are some disadvantages to having that long flowing hair. All right? Now, it might have some other functions and benefits that I can't think of right now. But there's nothing functionally wrong with it. Just like with black people's skin. There's nothing abnormal about having dark skin or black skin. That's not abnormal. And that's the only thing that matters. Is it normal or not? It's normal. It's normal. At one point, all humans were dark skinned. Okay? Simple fact. And it's pretty crazy that the group of women who you would least expect to have self-esteem issues because of how rich Black American history is. And that's a big problem too. They don't really view their history. They're not really proud of their history. Not that familiar with it typically, but they don't draw much pride from it, because a people truly proud of their history, they want to look, they're comfortable with being different, looking different. They want to. Whatever they look like, that's what it is. And that's what it's all about. And that's what make a lot of other women look attractive. We got to understand that. A lot of other people in general, male or female, I would imagine. I'm heterosexual male. I'm talking about women. One thing that make women look more attractive is if they look natural. You look more attractive if we know that this is how you naturally look. A genuine look, appearance, is attractive because that's what you get. That's what she looks like when she rolls over in the morning. Okay, you're not going to see a whole different person in the morning. That alone looks attractive. Makeup is okay. You got a special event, a wedding. You want to get dolled up for some photos. Yeah, women have been doing that for eons. But when you're hiding how you look from the world with that makeup on a daily basis, something's going on there. Don't know what your skin look like. Don't know what your eyelashes look like. Don't know what your eyebrows look like. Don't know what your head of hair, which is your crown, look like. Don't know what you look like at all. And this is every day. That behavior or act or scenario turns a lot of men off alone, regardless of what you look like. Men are more complex than that. We're not just sex obsessed, primitive beasts. That's what sometimes it seems like women see us as. That we almost like we're not human. Y'all don't think we're human? You think everything we think in terms of primitive sex and that's it? As far as attractiveness, you don't think we appreciate you showing us what you naturally and really look like? What type of person do you think we are? What type of animal? Right? You don't think there's any value in that? Any respect? There's a lot of respect. That behavior alone demands respect. And this is your daily look. This is what my face looks like. You might throw in some lip gloss. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with a little lip gloss. We can roll. I can rock with lip gloss. That's not an augmentation. You're not trying to make it look different. I was watching a video by Mr. Samuels recently, and he referred to the wearing of all that makeup and that wigs and stuff as their way of lying. You're walking around every day lying. You're lying to everybody who look at you. Every single person who can see you, you're lying to them. And it's true. That's problematic. Listen, man, you don't want to build your image on those principles, qualities. Shout out to the several black males who've been talking about image. This is horrible for any group of women's image. And why don't I hear more black women talking like this, like I'm talking now? I've listened to your little videos. You got your YouTube channels. Me, like with my little channel. I don't care. You know, I see a lot of y'all. You might have a few little subscribers. I still listen. I'm not hearing y'all talking like I'm talking now. Why is that? Why is that? See, the black men, the only man that's been talking to you who genuinely want to see you improve and evolve. Take better care of yourself, your health. Put yourself in a state of existence where it's more likely you'll be married, a wife, not single, not homeless, obese, overweight, and poor, unattractive, bald, suffering from cancers and other problems, health problems. As a group of women, there has been a regression. And if any group, any man, leader is not talking to you about this, hey, that's a problem. But that's cool. We over here, we're on the internet. You can get the Umar Johnson type lectures. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And, you know, I don't really have a problem with you hearing black men call you queens and Mother Earth and Mother Goddess. But you're not going to get that everywhere. You're not going to get those type of discussions everywhere. Sometimes you're going to have a little more realistic discussions. Because there's a demographic of black men who have no problem sitting you down and talking about serious issues that they see in you, that we all see in you. You you do, and listen, we need the Umar and Tariq Nasheed types. Tariq don't really deal with issues like this because, it's just not in him, and it's not going to be. And I don't expect it to be in all black men. That's why I don't come down on black men that don't talk about the same things that I talk about. It is whatever. But you get those types of talks there. You need to get these types of talks here. If you ask me, these are the more important discussions. You don't need to be just praised nonstop. Ain't nothing healthy about that. That makes you believe that you ain't doing nothing wrong. And that's what the men are about. Discipline. About introducing discipline into the home. That's another thing. Stop looking at discipline and being disciplined as some type of dictatorship, as our way of being some type of manipulative and controlling evil person. No, because everything we talk about in regard to discipline results in a higher quality existence for you, for our family. That's fact. Everything that got to do with discipline that we talk about and infuse into the home results in a higher quality of existence for you, us, and the kids. And I'm going to leave it there. Right? That's enough commentary from me. Didney said, Corinthians 1:3, Bible says, head of every man is the Christ. In turn, the head of a woman is the man. In turn, the head of Christ is God. Right. And you can find Christians, black female Christian feminists. Ain't that funny? A lot of people don't read the Bible. A lot of people don't follow it. Say, where's the best city in the United States to live if you're black? Least racist city? I don't know. I'm hearing that's Atlanta. I'm hearing places like Atlanta. But you're going to have racism everywhere. Anywhere you find different races among you, among us. So, yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, in the UK, Birmingham, in the middle of the country, is the best city for black people, okay? All right, shout out to God's firstborn in the building. The treatments used to relax, straighten or relax hair contain a mixture of chemicals. Some formulations contain the carcinogen formaldehyde, active ingredient, several studies, right? Straighteners, breast cancer, right? Beatrice Wright, African-American entrepreneur, founded B. Wright's toy company and mass-produced black dolls with ethnically correct features. Also an educator. Oh, okay. Chemically straightened hair for 7 years. Now there's a link between relaxers and higher risk of uterine cancer, right? And do the search on which group leads in uterine cancer. They lead in a bunch of things. And like everything that you see connected to these chemical products, and we're just dealing with formaldehyde. There's other crazy stuff going on. It almost seems like there's still the medical experiments that we know about from the past, and could be a lot worse. Who knows? We don't know. And who knows what's going to happen in the future? See, you have to stop putting so much trust in people. That's what it really boiled down to. And that's really not a race thing. Do you know how many white people don't trust other white people? They make sure they make their own everything almost They don't trust people, period. And that's how you have to be. You got other people putting a whole bunch of chemicals in a bottle, and then they put the name of them chemicals in your face. You got a big paragraph of stuff you can't even pronounce. And then the information comes out that there's toxic chemicals in this stuff, and they just still using it. I became vegan because I don't trust people like that. The diet is reversed. Rather than eat the food that come out the earth, they want you to eat the food that come out their warehouses, their laboratories. Right? They want to manipulate it first. Chop it up, sprinkle some salt, seasoning, and others to butter. Throw some sugar in there. So many dishes are tampered with. And the same thing is the case with this hair products, man. You can't trust that stuff. Stuff you put in your hair is supposed to come out the earth too. Anything you putting on your body every day. Same with deodorant and everything. Every day. You got to make sure it's coming out the earth directly itself as much as possible. It's got to be a natural product. That is crucial. We're not here that long. We need to be careful about what we're putting in what we're medicating ourselves on. That's just what it is. I wanted to eat everything that I eat as close as possible come directly from the planet. From the ground to my mouth, to my digestive system. And that's the healthiest way to eat. You know, I don't trust people. A lot of people know I became more conscious of germs, bacteria. Primarily it comes from dogs. But I don't go around anyone, into anyone's home who owns a pet. Growing old, to me, it's about learning things and people you can't trust. You live and you learn. Don't be no kid your whole life. To just trust any and everybody. And these people up here telling you there's toxic chemicals in this stuff. And it's targeted primarily to black women. And that's just one. Look forward to future productions. I'll get into other things. It's pretty crazy. Shout out to all of you. See you on the next live stream.